So I want to talk to y'all about idle time and so many people being idle. Like, you ever just sit, and sometimes I get on social media, it seems like I see the same person over and over again, just posting stuff. And it's like they're on there all day long. They're going back and forth with people because they post controversial topics. And okay, cool. You know, if that's your thing, that's what you want to do with your time. Okay, great. But it seems like a lot of us, we really aren't pursuing our goals in life. We aren't really out here pursuing what we say that we want for ourselves. We're not out here pursuing, you know, things that are going to well round our lives and really fulfill our lives. Like, there's a lot of people that I feel personally, you know, just from the looks of social media and the things that people give their time to, that people aren't really applying themselves and people aren't really pursuing the things that they say they want for their lives. And it's like, you know, we all have the same amount of hours in a day. And if we were really applying ourselves, like, we would never have the time to be bored. You know, I see some people like, oh, I'm bored. I want something to do. What's up with y'all? Like, they'll post stuff like that just to find something to do. And it's like, if you find yourself saying the words, I'm bored, or I want to do something, I want to go somewhere, then chances are, not always, but chances are you're not really applying yourself the way that you could be. Because if you were really out here pursuing your passions, your pursuits, or whatever your goal is, your life mission, you wouldn't have time to be sitting back talking about I'm bored. Like me as a holistic health coach and, you know, small business owner, you know, trying to get my business off the ground. Like, it takes work, it takes dedication, it takes consistency. It takes for me putting in the time that I don't want to put in, but it's literally like no days off. Like, I have my 9 to 5, or rather my 8:30 to 4:30 job. And then once it's time for me to go, it's time for me to clock out. Like, I give my time to pay the bills, right? To pay my bills, I give my time to somebody else. But as soon as it's time to go, it's time for me to clock in to work for myself, right? And to get my holistic health coaching brand off the ground, right? And, you know, I am all about work-life balance. So I try to set some time aside for myself on the Sabbath day, which is sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, and to just really relax. Like, y'all go to the gym Friday evening, Friday night. You know, but Saturday, I just relax. Like, I'm learning to do that. I'm actually embracing it. Like, I'm not going to the gym on the weekends because I work out too much and I got burnt out. And I think my body will benefit from the break and the rest. But for the, like, Saturday, I rest. But then come Saturday night, Sabbath ends at sundown. So then I go out, right? I go out and I enjoy myself and I enjoy my night. And, you know, so that's my work-life balance. I do that just to keep myself sane, and also just to make sure that I feel like I'm actually living. Like, I'm not just, you know, so focused on business that I don't make time to actually live, because, you know, time is passing us by. But I feel like a lot of people is giving too much time to the things that don't really multiply their lives. Like, a lot of people sitting online all the time. Like, personally, and this is just something that I recently talk about or thought about. And I feel like that's the reason for porn, why a lot of men are into porn. Like, brother, if you were so busy pursuing your passions and your purpose, you would be sitting around trying to jerk off or whatever, masturbate to, you know, do something. Like, yes, men are very sexual beings, but I feel like some men, yes, they're sexually driven. I'm not saying that a man who's busy pursuing his goals and his dreams isn't, you know, still, you know, flesh driven. But it seems like some men, they just looking like how they can get their rocks off. Like, they're just looking for the next woman they can get with, but they're not really applying themselves and they're not pursuing their purpose and their passionate pursuits. And just, fellas, just so you know, from the outside looking in, and I think even with y'all, like, I don't think y'all like to see a woman who doesn't have anything going for herself, isn't pursuing for herself, isn't molding and sculpting herself, isn't refining herself, isn't pursuing that thing that she says that she wants so bad, right? So likewise, especially since society, right, we look at y'all as the protectors and providers. It's so unattractive when you as a man seems like you don't got nothing going for yourself. You ain't got nothing to pursue. Like, sometimes I see that in the gym. Granted, I'm a gym body. I'm in the gym a lot. At least Monday through Friday now, but sometimes I see the same people over and over again. They just sit around, they lounging, like they're chit-chatting. Yeah, they're working out here and there, but it's more so like a hangout spot, and that's cool. I mean, honestly, I think it's best to hang out in the gym versus a bar and, you know, putting, you know, intoxicating your body and poisoning your body. So it's a good place to be, but it seems like some people, they're not in a rush to get anywhere. They're not in a rush to, you know, like, they don't have anything to rush home to. Like, they don't have a job to get to in the morning. Like, they're not in a rush whatsoever. Like, they don't have anything else to do but work out. Like me, I'm a talker. If you know me, you know me, you know it's true. I can talk a lot. That's why I work out by myself in the gym, because, you know, I like to get in there, work, and get out. But sometimes I carry a conversation and, you know, I'll be in there a little longer, but I'm trying to be mindful of that as well. But I'm trying to get in and get out. Like, I got to get home, get to my readings, to my learnings, and me, continuing to strengthen myself and to keep my finger on the pulse, right? As far as the holistic health community, and continue to grow and birth myself. But sometimes I just see people that's like, like, fellas, like, you ain't got nothing to do. Like, you don't got nothing that you got to get home to, no book you want to read. Like, like you don't have a purpose. Maybe you don't know your purpose. Maybe you don't know your passion. I think that's why a lot of people feel so unfulfilled in life. Like, you feel unfulfilled because you don't know why you're created, why you are here. So if you find yourself empty, I think that's a good indicator why you might feel empty. Maybe you haven't figured out what your life passion is, or maybe you haven't figured out what your life trajectory is. But I suggest you to get busy on working on that and figuring that out for yourself, because, when you have passion, you have purpose, and your goal for this life, and you know what you were created and called to do, you have so much fulfillment in that. So if you find yourself feeling unfulfilled, I mean, it's not always built around that, but 9 times out of 10, it is built around that. Like, a lot of it can be built around, because when you know your passion and what you're here for, you got something to get up for every single day. You got a reason to go out there and get it. You got a reason to have a sense of urgency. And I just feel like there's not enough people with a sense of urgency. A lot of people, it seems like they're just wasting their time on these fleeting and futile things. Like, I see, again, people post stuff all day online, stuff that's not even beneficial. Like, I'm like, you posting all this silly stuff or this ratchet stuff, asking stupid questions, or posting this ratchet stuff or whatever. But it's like, you're not really applying yourself. You're not really doing anything with yourself, but you just wasting this fleeting time. Like, this life is nothing but a vapor. Time comes and goes, and life tends to move quickly, y'all. It moves so fast, and it's like, you don't got time to with an idle mind, being sitting and idle. Heck, look, idle time, causes an idle mind, idle hands, and that's the devil's playground. When you are idle, you're not busy focusing on stuff and pursuing what you got to do. That's how you get yourself in trouble. You think about, like, parents, when you addressing your kids, like, you try to provide structure around their lives to keep them out the streets, to keep them from getting in trouble, with the law, or, and stuff like that. You try to create structure around their lives so they're busy, like put them into sports and stuff like that, stuff that's actually good for them, their character, their conduct, their health of their bodies, right? Because if not, they're going to get in trouble, right? They're going to be out here in these streets getting in trouble. Well, it's like, after the kids' stage, just like parents think about that with their kids, but as an adult, nobody thinks about that as an adult, because you're an adult, so you can do what you want, but you're still wasting your time. Like, where is your structure? Where is your structured life? I'm telling you, when you structure your life and you create structure around it and things that you have to do for yourself, it tends to be a more fulfilling and a very rewarding life. But you have to get busy pursuing that for yourself. So I just wanted to encourage y'all who just sit idle online all the time. I was talking about stupid stuff that doesn't really do anything for anybody. Yeah, it helps you pass some time, but it doesn't help you to further yourself in life. And you just wasting time being a social media head, sitting online worrying about what everybody else is doing, and this chick's inboxing when you got a whole wife, or vice versa, ladies. Like, but because y'all have all this time on your hands and you're not really applying yourself, you're not getting anywhere in life, and you're just getting into trouble, really putting yourself in situations, thinking about things and doing things that you ain't got no business to be doing. For people who want to be of character and have a very rewarding and fruitful life. So I just want to encourage y'all in that. Like, stop sitting around and, not really applying yourself. We all got things that we need to be working on. I'm always trying to figure out how I can apply myself in some way, shape, or form. And, I learn to take my break when I can. That's what the Sabbath is for, so I can fully rest and then get right back out there and get at it. And, of course, sleep comes in play with that as well, because if you're tired, like, man, you're stressed out in every way, and things tend to not get done. You can't really, address and tackle your day when you're depleted of sleep and you need more. So start really thinking about what you want in this life and start pursuing that. Like, get busy. That passion and pursuit, man, that's a very attractive thing on anyone and everyone. So, get busy doing that, and, really, multiply in your life and really grow and develop as a person, and just, embracing that joy of going out there and getting it and chasing that thing, whatever that thing is. But y'all, let's get busy and stop wasting time. All right. We all have the same hours, but what are you doing with the time that you have? Maybe, it's a good pointer that you should start being mindful of the time that you spend. Start tracking your time and how much time you spend on this and that. And you'll probably be surprised, not pleasantly, but you'll be surprised by how much time you waste on silly, fleeting, and futile things that do nothing to help or add to your life at the end of the day. All right. Word of encouragement. Thank you for listening. Take care.